Welcome to Luke Podcast.
Hello everyone, I am Leo.
And I am Maggie. Welcome to a new episode of English Listening Time.
Today we have a topic that affects absolutely every single person listening to this podcast. In fact, it is something that happens every single morning, whether we like it or not.
That is right. Today we are talking about the top best habits upon waking up. Or, to put it another way, how to start your day without feeling like a zombie.
A zombie is a very good description, Maggie. I think many of us feel like zombies for the first 30 minutes of the day.
Only 30 minutes? Liam, I feel like a zombie until at least 10 o'clock in the morning. If I do not have my coffee, do not talk to me. I'm serious.
Well, that is exactly why we need to talk about this today. You see, the way you start your morning sets the tone for the rest of the day. It's like the foundation of a house. If the foundation is weak, the house will be unstable. If your morning is chaotic and stressful, your whole day will likely feel chaotic and stressful.
I hate to admit it, but you are right. My mornings are usually very stressful. I hit the alarm button, I go back to sleep, I wake up late, and then I have to rush to get ready. It's not a peaceful experience.
That brings us to our first point of discussion, the snooze button. Maggie, be honest with me. How many times do you hit the snooze button on your phone?
Oh, this is embarrassing. Usually 3 times, sometimes 4. I set my alarm for 7, but I don't actually get out of bed until 7:30.
This is a classic mistake, and actually, this is the first anti-habit we need to discuss. When you hit snooze and fall back asleep for 5 or 10 minutes, you're confusing your brain. Your body starts a new sleep cycle, but then, alarm, you interrupt it again. This leads to something called sleep inertia.
Sleep inertia? That sounds like a physics term. What does that mean in simple English?
Think of a heavy train. It takes a lot of energy to start moving, right? Sleep inertia is that heavy, groggy feeling where your brain is awake, but it feels like it's moving through thick mud. By hitting snooze, you're actually making that feeling worse, not better.
So you're saying that sleeping for those extra 10 minutes actually makes me more tired?
Exactly. It's better to set your alarm for the real time you need to wake up and just get up immediately. It's painful for 10 seconds, but better for the next 10 hours.
Okay, I will try to keep that in mind. But Liam, getting out of bed is the hard part. Once I'm standing up, what should I actually do? What's the number one best habit?
I'm glad you asked. The number one habit before you drink coffee, before you look at your phone, and before you eat breakfast is hydration. You need to drink water.
Water? Just plain water? That sounds a bit boring. I want my cappuccino.
I know, but hear me out. Imagine a sponge. You know, the yellow thing you use to wash dishes.
Yes, I know what a sponge is.
Okay, imagine a sponge that's been sitting on the kitchen counter all night. It's dry, it's hard, it's stiff. If you try to bend it, it might break.
Right, it's completely dried out.
Your body is that sponge when you wake up. You've been asleep for 7 or 8 hours. During that time, you haven't drunk any water. You've been breathing, sweating a little bit, and using energy to repair your cells. When you wake up, you're technically dehydrated.
I never thought about it like that. So I'm basically a dry sponge every morning?
Precisely. Now, if you pour hot coffee onto a dry sponge, what happens? It absorbs it, but it's a bit of a shock. But if you drink a large glass of water first, you're rehydrating your brain and your organs. You're preparing the sponge to work correctly.
That makes a lot of sense. I usually have a headache in the morning, and I know that headaches can come from dehydration.
That's a very common connection. In fact, many people feel tired in the morning, but they're actually just thirsty. Their brain doesn't have enough fluid to function at high speed. So, habit number 1, put a glass of water on your bedside the night before.
On the bedside table?
Yes, so it's right there. You don't even have to walk to the kitchen. You sit up, you drink the water, and boom, you've accomplished your first healthy habit of the day in 30 seconds.
Okay, I can do that. That's easy. But can I have my coffee afterwards?
Absolutely. I'm not a monster, Maggie. I love coffee too. But water first. Now, are you ready for the second habit? This one is about biology and light.
Light? You mean like turning on the lamps in my room?
Not exactly. I mean sunlight, natural light. This is huge for your energy levels.
Explain this to me, because usually when I wake up, I want to keep the room dark. I want to hide from the world for a little bit.
That's a natural feeling, but it's the opposite of what your brain needs. Humans have an internal clock. In science, this is called the circadian rhythm.
Circadian rhythm. That's a fancy word. It basically means our body clock, right?
Correct. Your body clock is controlled by light. When light hits your eyes, it sends a signal to your brain that says, stop producing the sleep hormone, start producing the energy hormone.
The sleep hormone is melatonin, right? I've heard of that.
Yes, melatonin makes you sleepy. Sunlight kills melatonin. If you wake up and stay in a dark room for an hour, your brain thinks it's still nighttime. You'll continue to feel groggy and slow.
This explains so much. I have blackout curtains, those really thick curtains that block all the light. My room is like a cave. I stumble around in the dark for 20 minutes looking for my socks.
See, you're fighting against your own biology. The best habit you can build is to get light into your eyes within the first 10 or 20 minutes of waking up.
So what should I do? Open the window?
Yes, open the curtains immediately. If the sun is up, look out the window. Even better, if you have a balcony or a garden, step outside for 2 minutes.
But Liam, what if it's winter? What if it's dark when I wake up?
That's a very practical question. In the winter, or if you wake up very early, you should turn on the brightest lights in your house. It's not as good as the sun, but it helps. There are even special alarm clocks that light up slowly, simulating a sunrise.
Oh, I've seen those. They start glowing orange, then yellow, then bright white. That sounds much nicer than my alarm, which just screams beep, beep, beep at me.
It's much nicer. It wakes you up gently. But let's go back to the natural light for a second. I want to tell you a quick story about when I realized how important this was.
Please do. I love your stories.
A few years ago, I lived in a basement apartment. A basement is the floor below the ground.
Oh, wow. So it was underground.
Mostly. It had tiny windows near the ceiling. It was very affordable, but it was very dark. I remember that for that entire year, I had so much trouble waking up. I would sleep for 9 hours and still feel exhausted. I drank 3 cups of coffee and still felt tired. I thought I was sick.
That sounds terrible. Did you go to the doctor?
I did, and the doctor asked me about my living situation. When I told him about the basement, he said, Liam, you're like a plant. You need photosynthesis.
That's funny, but he was right?
He was completely right. I moved to an apartment on the 4th floor with big windows facing east, where the sun rises, and my energy changed completely. It wasn't magic, it was just biology.
That's a really powerful example. I guess I really need to stop hiding in my cave in the mornings. So we have habit 1, water to rehydrate the sponge. Habit 2, light to reset the body clock. What's habit 3?
Habit 3 is something that most people hate hearing, but it's necessary. It's movement.
Oh no, please do not tell me I have to run a marathon at 6 in the morning. I'm not that person, Liam. I will never be that person.
Don't worry, Maggie. I'm not talking about intense exercise. I'm not talking about going to the gym or running 10 kilometers. I'm talking about gentle movement to wake up your muscles.
Okay, gentle movement sounds manageable. Like stretching?
Exactly. Stretching is perfect. Think about what happens when you sleep. You lie in one position for a long time. Your muscles get cold and stiff. Your blood flow slows down.
Stiff means they're hard to move, right? Like when you sit in a car for too long.
Yes, being stiff is that feeling when you try to bend over and your back says, ouch. When you wake up, your body is stiff. If you immediately sit in a chair to eat breakfast and then sit in a car to drive to work and then sit at a desk, you're staying stiff.
That's basically my life. Sitting, sitting, and sitting.
And that's why simple movement is a top habit. It gets your blood flowing. When your blood moves faster, it carries more oxygen to your brain. Oxygen wakes you up better than caffeine does.
Better than caffeine? That's a bold statement, Liam.
It is a bold statement, but scientifically true. Caffeine blocks the chemical that makes you feel tired, but oxygen actually creates energy in your cells. So try this tomorrow morning. Do 10 jumping jacks or just stretch your arms up to the ceiling for 2 minutes.
Just 2 minutes?
2 minutes is enough to change your state. If you do that, you'll feel your heart beat a little bit faster and you'll wake up naturally.
Okay, I can commit to 2 minutes. I can't commit to a 5-kilometer run, but I can stretch while my coffee's brewing.
Perfect. That's all I ask. Now, let's move to habit number 4. This one is psychological. It's about your mindset. Habit number 4 is make your bed.
Make my bed? Really? Liam, you sound like my mother. Maggie, clean your room. Maggie, make your bed.
I know it sounds like a chore. A chore is a boring task you have to do around the house, like washing dishes. But making your bed is not just about being tidy, it's about psychology.
How can pulling up my sheets be psychological?
There's a famous speech by a U.S. Navy admiral named William McRaven. He said that if you make your bed every morning, you've accomplished the first task of the day.
Okay, but it's a very small task.
It is small, yes, but it gives you a tiny sense of pride. It's a small win, and that small win encourages you to do another task and another and another. It sets a pattern of success.
So if I make my bed, I'm basically telling my brain I'm productive today.
Exactly. And there's another benefit. Imagine you have